As the clocks go back, that's a clear indication that winter is here, and that means lots of people will be preparing to alter their schedules to adapt to the new dark conditions. And it will really affect one group of people, and that's us, the drivers. It can be a very challenging time driving in the dark, commuting to and from work. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you some insights and some different strategies and tips on how to stay safe this winter. As we lose those daylight hours, that's when drivers become most vulnerable, especially on unlit roads. Now, according to a study from the Department of Transport, just 15% of vehicle miles are driven between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. Yet a third of all incidents and deaths take place in that time. So then how can we start to be safe throughout these cold winter periods, you ask? Well, one of the first things you need to keep an eye out for is tiredness and fatigue, because when you're tired, you're more prone to accidents out on the road, and you'll probably become much more blinded by those bright oncoming vehicles. And those early morning commuters amongst you will also begin to notice the dark winter mornings. This means you have to be much more vigilant about pedestrians, wildlife, you name it, you need to stay alert. As we lose more of the sunlight throughout the day, it will really mess with your body clock, so you need to have time to adjust. But this also means if you don't have enough sleep, you'll suffer from something called sleep deprivation, which is where most accidents happen, especially within the UK. Next up is headlights and glare. Now, I know that many of you will probably suffer from this, and it'll draw your eyes like a moth to a light bulb and leave you like a deer in their headlights. So you need to keep on top of it. And with the increasing numbers of SUVs coming to the market right now, you're much more prone to being dazzled. Due to the lights being situated much higher up in the vehicle, they'll shine straight into your cabin. So some top tips to combat this: well, you need to set your focus as far ahead as possible. And as that car is coming past, you need to look to the left-hand side of the curb, just for a few seconds at least as it passes by. This will help you to regain your vision faster. And a study has actually shown that 65-year-old man could take up to 9 seconds to fully recuperate their vision after being blinded by an oncoming vehicle. And that's quite staggering. Also, when driving on unlit roads, it's important that you use your headlights to the full advantage. So you should be clicking on your main beam when there's no other vehicles or street lamps around, so that you can see any oncoming bends, any wildlife, or any signage. Next up, check your vehicle and make sure that you keep on top of it, especially throughout these cold winter periods. You need to make sure that you're on top of your battery, your brakes, your wipers, and your headlights. Headlights are a major concern because you need to see and you need to be seen. So make sure that they're in full working order and that you actually clean the headlight cluster themselves. Now, you don't need to fork out on a 5-star valet. You just need to take a wet paper towel and wipe them clean, because they can get really dirty, all that grit and grime throughout the winter. You also need to make sure you got enough windscreen wiper fluid so that you can clean the windscreen, so you got full visibility when you're out either driving at night or throughout the day. And I highly recommend keeping on top of your brake system, because unexpectedly you could come across something late at night out on the road and you need that stopping power. So make sure that you book it in for a winter health check. Now, another thing on what to look out for is other road users. Yes, we've touched upon it briefly, but people like cyclists, people walking to school, you need to look out for them and be vigilant. But they should all be wearing reflective clothing. And if you're a keen cyclist or you're walking your children to school, make sure that you or them are wearing reflective clothing too. Reflective keyrings, reflective bags, anything so that other road users can see you morning or night. As we come towards the end of the video, it's also important that you take your time out on the road through these cold winter months, as you may be sleepy, as your body clock's not quite adjusted, so you need to take time and take into consideration that you might need a break when driving throughout long distances. And you need to be careful when going to junctions, taking more time and considerations for other people or the road users, and you'll be just fine. And as this video is based around the clocks moving back, it's important that you know how to change the time within your car. So I'm going to quickly run you through it, as it can be a very confusing process for many. For reference purposes, I'm currently sat within an Audi Q5, but it's a very similar layout for lots of different makes and models. So you need to find your settings menu and hit general. From there, you'll be displayed with lots of different options, but you need to find date and time. Select this, and then you can select the date, the time, date format, and you can simply scroll up and down, and then you can move an hour forward or an hour back, and also select the minutes. But with this Audi and lots of different makes, you can also have an automatic mode. So if you select that, that means the car will automatically change the time, whether you've lost an hour or gained an hour, so you don't have to think about it. So then, I hope this video has given you a better insight and has given you some useful tips about driving at night throughout the cold winter months. I'll leave a link down below in the description where you can head to our Swansway blog for lots more useful tips and tricks, and better still, I'll leave a link to our website where you can browse all of our current stock. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.